Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to the JTV Game of the Week. I'm Harry Ferrone.
And I'm Brian Martingano, and today we have a matchup between the Jackson Liberty Lions and the Lakewood Piners.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the match just got underway. Pretty good first serve that called a little wide. Now this is going to be a little tricky to track. Players are supposed to put their finger up in the air when the ball is out. Love 15. Server always gives the service score first. Pretty good return. And goes for the put away. The ball's a little bit short. And a nice winner there. We've got, by the way, Gabriella Louise from the Piners and Ella Centofanti here for the Lions. Both are first singles players. $15 all. Centofanti with a nice second serve there, but gets jammed a little bit there, and she's down 15-30 here in the first game. Both players right-handed. You can do that quite a few times in a windy day. That's going to probably see that a lot today. That's a fault. Get 2 opportunities to serve each to each box. That one's going to go wide too, and that's going to put the game to 15-40 here. As Gabriella Louise has herself a little bit of a lead here for Lakewood.
Dug herself in a little bit of a hole here, but has time to get herself out of it and come away.
You know, tennis, one of those sports, definitely got to play this one point at a time and have a very short memory. Second serve coming up here. That one's going to go wide, and that's going to be game here. Gabriella Louise here for Lakewood. Going to go up. 1 game to love. You know what? Let's take a second and take a look back at the Centofanti serve here. Our crack JTV crew had a chance to record them serving a little bit earlier today. We could take a look at that serve in the super slow-mo and break it down a little bit if we're quick about it. And I guess we'll get that going on the next chain. Here's that serve. Can super slow-mo that right about there. Does a pretty good job of reaching up. And a pretty good wrist snap at the end there. Centofanti's got some good wrist action. Really needs to reach up a little bit higher. Make contact a little bit higher and a little further away. Oh, a quick wrist serve out wide. Pretty nice serve there from Louise. 30 love.
And I can see what you mean about short memory. I mean, it's in a lot of sports, it's about fixing your mistakes, but not being scared to make more.
Yeah, and tennis, I can't even begin to tell you how mental this game is. If you had a chance to, 30-15 now, had a chance to watch the men's U.S. Open final with Djokovic and Medvedev. Djokovic was going for a season Grand Slam. Hasn't been done since like 1968 or 69. And really, as much as Medvedev played a great match, nice serve, by the way. Oh, and a good return deep to the corner. It's 30 all. Djokovic, just the pressure of trying to tie this record was just so overwhelming that you could see it. It paralyzed him on the court. So, 30 all here. Big serve here. It's going to go wide. Pretty nice return down the line. I always like to hit those returns too, let my opponent know that I was on it. Okay, there's a ball that should drop. You should not be in that location hitting the ball in the air. You want to let that ball drop, step in, take a swing at it.
And that's one of those opportunities, just try to learn for it and forget that it happened.
30-40. As you can see, there are no ball boys or girls, and there are no referees here. This is, you're on the honor system here. Good serve. Into the body. That's going to be an ace. That's going to put us at deuce. Pretty nice serve there. Louise showing early that she's got like a quick wrist snap serve. Doesn't generate a whole lot of, there's no big angle from this, but she wrist snaps it so flat that it gets on you pretty quick. If I were Santafanti, I'd probably take half a step back on the first serve and then move in for the second. Tape takes us to what we call advantage out. That's the advantage then goes to the returner. Advantage to the returner. So if the returner wins this point, game's over. If the server wins the point, we go back to deuce. And that can pretty much go on all day long. That's going to go deep. And we're back to deuce.
Good close match so far. A little bit closer than the first one, but it's again a good comeback.
I'm equally impressed by our graphics guy so far is hanging in there. Pretty good serve. And that one kind of shanks off the frame.
And you can almost see the wind have an effect on that as it went into the air and slowly started to come back. It's not exactly the greatest day for tennis.
No, and for tennis players, most tennis players don't like playing on windy days. Windy days are better for players who have a lot of spin on their ball. That's 40 advantage in, actually. A little deep on the first serve. Former tennis player Andre Agassi, very good wind player. That's deep, and we're back to deuce. Once again, this whole deuce thing can go on pretty much all day long.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll see a 7, 8, or a 9-minute game that just takes long because both players are just kind of going back and forth. Generally, you want to step up to the line with 2 balls. You don't want to step up to the line with 1 because if you have to interrupt that service motion between the first and the second serve, it could be a little distracting to yourself.
And that's where you said it. It's a big mental game and
big winner down the line. Let's take a look at a replay of that one. Santafanti gets a nice short serve and plants that one down the forehand with a big forehand down the backhand side. See the ball screaming by there. Those replays actually need to be on the first camera, believe it or not. All the replays are going to be off of the main camera today, gents and ladies. That's why I'm here. Well, looks like we're evened up here at 1 game apiece. Santafanti won the last point while I was talking. Oh, 1-all. Okay, there it is. Dylan's feeling good there that he's got this right. It's 1-all, Dylan. Again, tennis, a tough one for the graphics person. So hang in there, my friend. Second serve. We kind of shanked that one off the pole. And again, that one, the wind's really going to do different things. When you're on this side of the net serving or this side of the court serving, you can hit the ball pretty hard. It's going to take off when it lands. When you're on that side and serving, you're against the wind. So your ball, if you put spin on it, that spin's just going to get magnified. Yeah. Earlier today when I destroyed Mr. Noble in 4 games of tennis with a torn Achilles tendon and torn labrum, it was entertaining to watch him handle spins. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just say that on live television?
Yeah.
Team 4 Love? Oh,
I guess
sorry.
you did. That's.
Just don't tell my wife I was out on a tennis court.
Yeah.
That double fault's gonna, these are the kind of things that really will come back to get you. These kind of unforced errors. 15 all. Evened up here at 1 game apiece. Yep, that service, that one hits the tape. Good serve. And that one's going to sail deep as that ball gets served to the backhand. Pretty good move. I always find that's a 30-15. Servers need to be a lot like pitchers and moving that ball around so you don't become complacent, knowing where the serve's going to go. Another shank again there, and just like that, it's 40-15.
And
a couple of good serves here from Senefanti.
And a good comeback by her after losing the first game, coming back, winning the second game in a close one.
40-15. It's 1 game apiece. And there's a double fault there that takes us to 40-30. Lakewood with 1 game, and Liberty also came back there after a shaky start to take the second game. Senefanti still in the driver's seat here at 40-30. Wants to get this first serve in. Make her play the ball. There you go. Good first serve. A nice backhand angle. This one, it's going to be tough in this wind. Yep. You can see there that ball kind of hung up a little bit. And we're back to another one of Brian's favorite games, the dreaded deuce game. That's right. The dreaded deuce game. Noble, quite the tennis player. When I asked him what deuce was, he thought it meant eating lunch twice.
Very easily confused.
For sure. That's a fault. Gets a second serve here. Let's see how she handles it. Again, you don't have to, if you make a bad toss, you don't have to hit it. You can catch it and reserve it. A good serve down the tee. Look, the tee, I had 2 favorite serves when I serve. The tee serve I like when I know I have an opponent that's got a weaker backhand. Okay, but the serve I haven't seen utilized yet today, for the forehand side anyway, is the serve out wide. Takes your opponent off the court, opens up the court so you can hit through to the open area. And it's advantage in here for Senefanti. Another good serve. Nice return. Senefanti kind of hitting off her back foot. Okay. Again, the key, you want to balance your feet out, take little baby steps. Good serve. A little bit of a shank there. A little bit of a shank there.
And
Senefanti.
This game definitely evening up. Definitely starting to make a case for both of them. I mean, the first game kind of got a little bit out of hand, but now as we start to move on.
Here's a quick replay of that last point. Pretty good serve. And there you have it. And we are back alive here. We're back to deuce as Louise won that last point. I used to tell my players all the time, and in tennis, get ahead, stay ahead. Big serve down the tee. What a nice serve. Take a quick look at that replay here. That beautiful serve. And one of those things we need to do when we're doing tennis. That's okay. We'll come back to that one later. Advantage in. Got to be really quick with tennis. The points go pretty fast. Okay, now this is a good example, Brian. Ball drops in the box off the net. That is called a let. And what the server then gets another first serve. This is another thing where you could do that 5 times in a row and you're still getting the first serve out of it. Look, she did it twice in a row. I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen that happen too many times. I've seen it even less times for 3, but here's for hoping. Nope, that's a little deep. Gets a second serve here. Again, she's up advantage in here. Ooh, that good solid return, but deep.
I feel like,
and that's going to end that game.
And tennis is one of those sports, especially with any wind, it can get away from you so easily, and just you overhit it by just a little bit.
So easy, you're right. Liberty now up 2-1 here after a slow start. So important there for Senefanti to actually get those serves in. I can't stress to you enough how important it is not to give away free points on your serve. When you're serving, it's the only shot that you control from beginning to end. So, when you have that in mind, you want to give yourself every opportunity to get that ball in, start the point. As a guy who was never a big server, I really didn't look at serving at my height as a super big advantage, unless I played somebody like Mr. Noble. So for me, the serve was more or less try and put my opponent in a position that made them at least a little bit uncomfortable, as opposed to getting myself right into the driver's seat.
Well, that's another one of mental game, especially when you have multiple serves. You can tend to rely on one just a little bit more and then start to change it up as the game goes on.
Yeah, I like to slice serve out wide on the forehand side. She goes for the wide serve, but it goes a little bit wide. Down love 15. Remember, service score always comes first, so it doesn't matter who's serving, their score always comes first. And love, of course, is the only place in the world where love means 0. That's right, Brian. Love 15. Oh, good short serve. I guess that went wide. Sometimes it's our angle here sometimes gets challenging. Oh, good first, good second serve. Oh, that's not, yeah. Look, anytime you can hit the ball at your opponent's feet, it's a good day. Okay? If you can catch love 30 now, you can keep hitting the ball at your opponent's feet. It really puts them in an awkward position. A little deep. So Louise Gabrielle takes a step or two inside the court, and then Senefanti's kind of driving the ball at her feet deep. When your opponent's doing this to you, what do?
Back up.
Back up. Give yourself more time. Absolutely. See, Brian, you could play some tennis.
Yeah.
You could get out there and play some tennis. You could take Noble.
No.
I think you could take Noble.
Considering I've held the tennis racket for all of 5 minutes of my life.
Well, I don't think Noble held it for much more than that.
Oh.
Oh, that one died. Well, takes advantage. Running up to the ball, and I think that's game. Sent to Fanti. There's a replay of that last point. Again, the wind's really wreaking some havoc on some of these shots here. We're back live. 3-1, Liberty up. Sent to Fanti. That's Ella.
Yeah, and Liberty were making a really good comeback here, especially after losing that first game. The second game became a lot closer and really just ran away.
Big serve down the tee. Well, that's going to sail. And this wind, that is tough business with this wind. You have the wind with you, ball's going to take off. On a windy day, I'll add more spin to my ball for margin of error. You got to bend those knees when you hit to keep the ball on the court. If your thighs aren't hurting after a tennis match, then you're probably not bending enough. Right, Keith? It's 15 love. Oh, love 15 make that. Oh, she drove it deep. That's right. Little deep.
And I could see that's where mentally it could get a little bit frustrating, especially when you get a serve that looks good, feels good, and it's just out. And it's
that is frustrating.
One of the situations where it's like, well, and especially if it has to do with wind, it's
for sure. Love 30 here. Luis doesn't want to let this one get too far away here. Service break here would be just what the doctor ordered. Yep, Senefanti's more or less hits 2 first serves almost, and it's love 40. So she's going to live or die by that serve at this point. If I were her, I'd take a little pace off of the ball and hit that spin. Love 40. It's Lakewood that has 40 right now, my kind Dylan. Thank you, sir. Good serve. Ooh, good deep return. And that's going to go wide. Again, you know, when you start to see, you know, I think 3-4 games into a tennis match, you'll start to see as Centofanti now down 15-40. Players have tendencies. Players tend to do the same things over and over again. And whether they're good or bad, that's what you see. That's what you try to take advantage of. And an opportune time for that sound right in the middle of a serve. Second serve here. Got it in deep to the backhand. That's 30-40.
Good job here, not letting the game get away and end that quick. Starting to make a run here, but
Yep, I mean, she's still going to need to get this one in here just to get even. Good second serve. That's going to be trouble. Oh, just deep, and that's game.
and that's one of the situations on the service where short memory does wonders.
Lakewood now up, or Lakewood now back on serve at 2-3. You can see that ball just travels just a bit deep. I know that looked into you on camera here, folks, but anything close on that back baseline from our camera view looks like it's in. And both players are going to realize in about 2 seconds that they need to switch sides. Yep. Okay, we stand corrected. We missed something there. We're at deuce.
Guess maybe.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Sometimes the players get confused. Unless we got that last point wrong.
Which
Well, it's advantage. It's possible. It's advantage out now. So we'll just sit tight. Oh, yep. Dylan caught back up already. Advantage to Louise. And Centofanti kind of dumps that one into the net, and now we end up where we thought we were a minute ago, and that's the 2-3 here. Liberty in the lead. She changes scores here. Pretty even match so far, eh, Brian?
Yeah, so far it's been pretty even. Game 1 went a little bit more towards the Piners. Game 2 was fairly even, as well as Game 3, and then Game 4. Centofanti started to come away with it, but right back here in Game 5, they were able to come back, so it's shaping up to be a pretty even game.
Yeah, the key here is going to be the Centofanti serve. If she can get her serving consistently, she's going to be okay. We don't know where there is one. I bet you're wondering to yourself right now, where'd the one player go? Well, coaching is allowed in high school tennis, and it takes place on the changeovers. So anytime there's a changeover, and we do changeovers every 2 games, players are allowed to go talk to their coach and get the scoop. Oh, I got excited. I thought that was a bag of food for a second there.
Yeah, that's...
I know, Brian, you can identify with that.
Of course I can, you know. Food's good.
Brian Martingano, almost a fan of food the way Mr. Noble is, but not
Wow.
quite.
I wouldn't say I stooped that low.
It's like another league.
That's
Yeah.
I'll
It's like
have you
you're
know.
the minors and he's the majors.
I had 1 lunch today, not 3.
Oh, that is true. Oh, a double fault. Starts off with a double fault. Noble does like to have what we like to call phases of lunches.
You think that slowed him down in the tennis game today?
I don't think it mattered. Another serving problem there. She's down. Louise finds her down love 30. Not a good place to be, especially after breaking back and getting back on serve. Good serve. Footwork. I can't even begin to tell you how important footwork is here. Take 2 steps back and then take little steps to come back to the ball. It really is all about timing. Good serve. Nice body serve there into the inside of the Centofanti forehand. Good idea. Now at 1540. You know, I think one of my other things that tennis players should keep in mind too is you don't want to go to where the ball is going to bounce. You want to go to where the ball is going to be in the air, where you want to hit it in your strike zone. And just like that, Louise back to 30-40 here is getting an opportunity to get this game evened up. Deuce. Let's see what happens. Another good serve out wide. Not much you could do with that. That was in pretty much the perfect spot. Served out wide to the backhand, a low angle with some pretty good zip on it. And we're at deuce.
Yeah, and that's one of those serves that, you know, you question why can't I do that every time, and sometimes it's sure incredibly difficult to find the difference between a good and a bad serve sometimes.
You know, again, you know, you serve buckets of tennis balls, buckets of them, every week, just looking to get muscle memory on board. Advantage out here. All right, Centofanti fights off that excellent serve and gets that break of serve back. Goes up 4-2. And remember, in tennis, you're expected to hold your serve, which means anytime you beat your opponents on their serve, it's called a service break. So right now, Centofanti, big serve out wide, but just misses. Centofanti up 1 break of serve. Now what she wants to do is, by holding serve here, she'll consolidate her break. And again, the serving woes continue here as she's down. Love 15, just like that. Big thanks to my production crew here. We're in the first set here. Remember, you need to win 6 games to win a set, and we play the best 2 out of 3 sets.
And that's where tennis could eventually get to the point where you could start to get tired. I mean, after the first game or 2, you'd think fatigue doesn't really set in, as there's a lot of movement, but you do get equal amount of breaks. But
15 all. Yep. 15 all. I used to say when I coached tennis, we spent not a whole heck of a lot of time on conditioning, because I could count on one hand the number of tennis matches that I lost over the years because of conditioning versus the amount of tennis matches I lost over the years due to someone being outskilled. That was a philosophy that I embraced, Oh, this is a good point. Oh, a nice serve, good return. And it's 30-15. You know, Senefanti doing what she has to right now. Take a look at the replay.
And just a good hit back. She's just not able to get to it. Into the net.
30-15. Nope. That racket face wide open. When the racket face is open and you make contact with the ball, where's the ball going to go?
To the sky. And especially with the amount of wind that we
Yeah,
have, it could go wherever it wants to.
You're going to space exit. Senefanti, big point here. Go up a break. Or consolidate that break. Oh, just wide again.
Once again, the difference between that serve and a serve that is an ace is very little.
And that one gets us to 40-30. Got to eliminate those doubles. That's a fault. Second serve. Okay, there's a classic case of hitting down on the ball. You really can't do that. You got to hit up through the ball. That's going to take us to deuce. Been a lot of these deuce games today, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been pretty close so far. I mean, in the past, I feel like we've done tennis matches, and a lot of them seem to be blowouts, but they seem to be pretty evenly matched here, especially with the amount of them that are going to deuces. It can really come down to, once again, it's 2 points and the ability to get those 2 points in a row.
Yeah, and managing your nerves. As Senefanti delivered a nice serve there. Second serve, big one right here coming up. Senefanti up, advantage in. No, that's deep. Now we're back to deuce. Back to deuce. Little deep.
And there, once again, the wind definitely playing a factor.
Good point here. Oh, good forehand, and Senefanti overhits that volley. Let's take a look at a replay of that one.
Yeah, and that was, once again, another good point.
Good point, right?
Yeah, and it makes you question. I mean, we're, getting right
Really
into the middle of this, but
want to kind of hit that with a stiffer wrist on there. You want to hit those volleys when you get pulled up to the net like that.
nice.
And advantage now out to Louise.
This is where it comes down to those crucial moments where you just need that 1 point, and you know you can get it. It's just, it's harder to get than you think.
It is, and that's game. And we're now back on serve at free serving 4. So this match is really tight. Again, I think this match really rests on the serve of Senefanti. If she can get that serving consistently, she'd have a nice lead right here. Senefanti is going to go talk to coach. I'm sure his advice is going to be get your serve in. throw it in if you have to. I used to tell my players, like, they'll be like, well, my serve's not really working today. I'm like, I don't care. Throw it in. Hit 2-second serves. Put a ton of spin on it. Whatever you got to do to get it in, get it in. Because double faulting a game away is unacceptable. All right, 3 serving 4. Ooh, hot little serve to the forehand side. Luis up 15-love. Holy cow. Big serve. I was thinking this point's over, and then Santafanti tears off a cross-court winner. Ball wasn't even touched. 15 all. This is a fun one today, Brian.
Yeah. Gotta say, not many tennis matches will get me interested, but this one, it's been pretty close.
Okay, Brian, what'd you do wrong there?
Footwork, I'm assuming. The net open, the right.
Yep, that's it, Ryan. You passed your quiz.
Right.
Racket face open a little too much. See right there, both players staying nice and low. Santafanti trying to send that cross court. Both players really moving the ball well. Yep. Yeah, solid point there. Both players duking it out. Lakewood now, 15-30 here. Oh, look at this, and our camera operators get involved here. Good job, ladies. Both of them are like not sure. Are we allowed to touch the ball? Yes, you are. Just pick it up and throw it at somebody. $15.40. Stand corrected. Nope. Can't move and hit at the same time.
You could try.
You could try, but that's what's going to happen. You got to get where you're going, set your feet, pull a trigger.
I mean, yeah, you see pros hit it through the legs. Why shouldn't they?
Oh, that's too good. Oh, just wide. Again, Luis making that mistake of trying to play that ball in the air. It's such a low percentage hit, and we're right back where we were, which is 4-4. Santafanti with the break. Question is, at 5-3, can she hold her serve here up 5-3? Oh, big first serve that goes wide. And we're going to switch camera operators after this game.
And Liberty, after taking that game up 5-3, going to be looking to finish this out and keep ahead.
Ooh, another good second serve. That's going to go wide too, and it's 30-love. Santafanti really delivering big on the first 2 serves here in this all-important 8th game. I always find Game 7, the 8th game, the 4-3 game and the 3-4 game. It's such a huge game because look at the swing now. Instead of being at 4-4, she's up 5-3, a break and serving. Go big first serve. Let's see what happens. Boom. Oh. Second serve. And 30-15. Santafanti still holding on to a lead in this game after a couple of dominant first serves to start out this game.
And we got another good point going.
Solid rally, correct, Brian. Both players moving each other around, and that point really gives Santafanti a set point here, up 40-15. Really working hard to get this first serve in right here. Gotta get it in. Takes us to 40-30. Again, I know Coach probably lecturing her 2 minutes ago. Get that first serve in. Get it in. And that's game, and that's the first set here. As Senefanti is going to take that one.
And
First set, 6-3. We'll take a minute, switch our camera operators while the players go grab their drinks. Got some new interns here with JTV today. We'll get them some time on the cameras there. We're going to send Paul. Let's take a quick break for a commercial, and we'll be back in just a minute.
The students of Jackson Memorial High School have been practicing in preparation for today's pep rally or their second home game.
I'm really excited about the band going back into the stage.
I wait here by the curb when my old friend heard, hoping for bottles and cans to fill my car. Plastic's alright, cardboard's a delight. When you recycle, you're doing your part. So round up all you can to help your fellow man. Keep the planet healthy wherever you roam. You're not acting alone. The earth is your home. Yeah, yeah. When you recycle, you're saving your home. I wait here by the curb when my old friend heard, hoping for
Okay, welcome back to the second set here. Reminder there, Liberty took the first set 6-3. And we're just starting out here. Switching our camera operators out. Hopefully they're being reminded right now not to talk loudly in any way, shape, or form on the court while their camera responsibilities are being explained. Reminder to our crack graphics team. Liberty did take that first. Oh, there's a little one. It's an interesting place to put it.
yeah,
Our program, anyway.
I don't know where else you would put it, but yeah. Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's all good, Dylan. That's in a good spot. I see what you're doing there. Nope, that one dropped into the net. Again, moving forward while you're hitting. Not a great idea. Score now 15-30. Quick, 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 quick.
Yeah.
Replay there. Thank you.
Okay, so then change the brightness, and I'll tell you when to do that. You take this dial right here,
15-40. First serve dumped into the net.
and you move it. So this way's darker.
Want to start off the second set well. It's
Darker. And then
good
lighter
second
is
serve. Oh, backhand winner down the line.
Yeah,
Let's
that's-
take a look at a replay of that.
That's what it's-
Senefanti unloaded on that backhand, Brian.
Yeah, and there's definitely a couple of shines of brilliance across both these players that they just seem to out of nowhere get a hit or two that's
Boom.
just
You take a look there. If we go, since we have time, we go back to that replay again. We can super slow-mo that. And let's take a look at positioning here. Talk about the positioning, what they got here. Yeah, just roll it back. Use the wheel. Use that dial. Roll it back. And we're going to run out of time, so we'll come back live. Senefanti to serve here.
good serve. And
Was a good serve, and then the ball
Just
died on the return. You could actually see it. It looked like it was going to travel further and had just kind of hit the wall. Love 15. Liberty won that first game.
Maybe not that much. A little bit out more. Just get their full body.
Love
Yeah.
15.
And then get, like, they're a little much on something. Like, yep. So,
Love 30.
yeah, when you start rising up a little bit, but not, like, too much. Then follow it.
When you hear thank you on the court, that usually means that the player would like you to hit them the ball. Just so you know. Love 30. A lot of traditions and etiquettes out there on a tennis court. Pretty good service motion here from Centofanti. She's got to generate a little more upward thrust. Oh, that one shanks off the frame. She gonna get there? She got there. This is a tough ball.
And then you see this, like, little dial.
Just a little bit late getting to that forehand. Racket face wide open. It's going to drive that ball a little bit on the deep side. And it's a love 40.
And once again, a good point there. They're definitely starting to even out again.
Love 40. Good serve. Oh, just missed the return there. That ball catches the tape. Those are frustrating as a player when you just catch the tape.
And especially when you know that it's
a win. It's not coming back.
Yeah, and it's millimeters that you would have to rotate your racket for that to go completely different.
15-30. And that's going to go deep, and that's game. And we're evened up at 1 apiece here.
And that's where having a short memory
We are showing today just how important a consistent serve can be to a tennis player. Now we're at 1-1. Louise going to try and hold here. Keep this match on serve. Busy week here for JTV. We'll be at the school board meeting tonight. Also a field hockey game on Friday.
and not able to get the return she wanted there.
.30 love. Lakewood up in this game. Good forehand. Drops right at the feet of Gabriella. Oh, I stand corrected. 15-30. Oh, that one's off into the cheap seats right there, Brian. I think I saw Aaron. What's his name? Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he hit one there last night. It's 30 all. Not a big Yankee fan. Sorry.
That's
Oh, just deep. That just missed. Credit to Centofanti for going for that. Centofanti for going for that huge forehand winner. It's 40-30 though. Can we keep this match on serve? Big crucial second serve here. This is what I like to call one of those pressure serves. And it's good. And we're on serve as Gabriella Louise holds serve here, and we're at 2-1. Lakewood up 2-1. There we go. You know, this should bring us. We're outside today in the beautiful sunny day with a little bit of a breeze, but the real question is, what do you think of porta potties?
You know,
Field porta potties. What are your thoughts on them, Brian?
I mean, they're there. It's a little bit annoying, especially when we're right next to the football stadium and they have working indoor bathrooms. I can see them, but they're closed. And it's just, why?
I can see them.
Of course. And
Nice point there.
And these good points are really starting to
Yeah,
show
it's starting
up.
to pile up. 15 all here. The important game 4 here, as Santa Fanny now has to do her share to stay on serve here at 15. Actually, it can't be 15 all. She's on the wrong side. Let's see if she catches it. This happens quite a bit in tennis. They'll forget what side to be on. Oh, could serve out wide. That's not coming back.
Once again, I mean, her serves have been just a little bit inconsistent, but when she gets them how she wants them, they're almost unreturnable.
Okay, Santa Fe kind of jumped through that backhand, but got it in and then jammed up the Louise a bit. But let's. I can't wait to see what the score is here, to see if they are at least calling the score right. Yep, they're off 30-15. Oof, big second serve. See, Santa Fe really up 40-15, by the way. Good serve, though. Gets it in. Louise tries to take a little too much off of that. And now it's 40-15. Liberty, who now has a chance to keep this match on serve. Remember, in tennis, you're supposed to hold your serve. You're supposed to win your service game. Little replay there. You can see that ball get kind of dumped into the net. That's going to go deep. Santa Fe hangs on there. Wins the game, and we're at 2-2. Good service hold there. Hit a couple of big second serves, I might add.
Yeah.
And if we're going to get back to the porta potties, I have a theory about them. Would you like to hear it?
I'm not sure I would, but go for it.
Well, I'm going to tell you anyway, Brian. Whether you said yes or no, I was going to tell you anyway.
I figured.
I kind of think they're disgusting. Okay?
Yeah.
Here's the reason why. I feel like when you go into the porta potty, they need to come up with a disguise. There needs to be a disguise of some kind. Yes, a disguise. Not for you personally to go into the porta potty, but so that when you look down into the depths of the great void, that you don't see everybody else's business. They need to disguise the void. If they came up with a way to disguise the void, I wouldn't have a
So,
problem.
anyways, tennis.
All right. Brian, being a little combative there when it comes to our discussion of porta potties, but let's get back to tennis action. Sounded like Love 15. Good second serve. That's going to land in. There's an example of going to where the ball's going to bounce versus where the ball needs to be struck after the bounce.
Yeah, once again, I mean, the ability to read it and knowing when to charge and when not to can be huge for players, and it's also something that can't teach as much as experience.
And that was a second serve that she'd like to have back right there. She kind of rushed it a bit. Love 40, the score now. And that one's going to go a tad deep. Pretty good second serve. That's been a successful serve to her, Bri. That serve out wide to the backhand. Definitely my weakest return as well.
And it's one of those that you throw in every once in a while that can just guarantee you a point, especially when you start going down.
15-40. Good body serve. That's going to go wide. And we'll see here. We've got Senefani's going to draw first blood here. Picks up the break at 3-2. Again, the big question here is, can she consolidate the break? And I know right now our statistician on the bus, Dylan, is scrambling on his phone looking up the word. What word did I just say?
Break.
No, the one before it.
I don't know.
Consolidate. He's looking up the word consolidate.
Oh, I don't think that's the one.
You don't think it was that one?
No, I think.
All right. Do you
I
want
think
to
most
talk about
people know
porta
that.
potties again?
No.
All right.
It's tennis. That's.
Here we go. Look at that. See, we got a change over here at the odd game, and Senefani serving up 3-2. Got some fresh camera blood out there.
It's always interesting, and tennis is one of those sports that, well, not necessarily easy to film. It's one that you can teach on.
It is. It's a good teaching one because what it does is it forces your camera operators to learn how to frame and reframe. They're constantly framing and reframing, and the best part is that their shot while they're reframing is not necessarily one we're going to cut to that is super important during a point, but it's the after point. Like right now. They're going to cut to that shot now, and we'll see how our camera operator's doing. Let's give him a grade. Or maybe the technical director's having a donut. Not sure. Love 15. Good first serve.
And those ones, you gotta wonder how much effect the wind has on it, because that seemed like it moved basically nowhere. But
Yeah, it did. It went up, got stuck in the wind. I personally like when I shank a ball like that and it goes in on the other side. You know what I always used to say? Shank you very much.
that does sound like a very you thing to say.
Yeah, you always say shank you. Oh, a little bit deep. Shanking happens in tennis. And, you know, it helps if you have a good relationship with the shank gods.
Yeah,
I shank you not.
It's always one of those situations. I mean, you can hear it when that happens, and sometimes it ends up working out, and you go, just how?
Yeah, just thankful. 15-30, by the way.
That's another thing that could be frustrating, because there's no way to read that. There's no preparing for it. It just happens.
Now, we talk about not being able to prepare for a shot, but that backhand right there, beautifully played to a short angle, gets us to 30-30 here. You know, the further in you get to the net, the better angles that you can create on the court. So by moving forward into Fanti, you can see right here, it takes this ball across court right into the corner. Just unhittable return. Nice job on the cam work there, folks.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's a situation where you'd have to dive for it, but it's,
Yeah, that's not generally recommended on a tennis
I
court
mean-
because of the fact that you lose a lot of skin.
Yeah.
These are, in case you haven't noticed, folks, these are hard courts, basically playing on asphalt, painted. That's a little deep, too, and that's going to take us to 30-40, an opportunity for a break point here from Louise. Oof, a lot of these break points today. Really on both sides. Break point here, break point there. In case you have some kids tuning in at home there, watching these girls out here playing tennis, this is a great sport for you to get involved in at a young age. Life sport, you can play this for the rest of your life. A little bit of a miss hit there. Yeah. Good serve. Oh, a little bit of a miss hit, and that gets us to deuce. You know, I actually didn't start playing tennis until I was in my early 20s. Played baseball growing up and played a little Jersey Shore baseball in my early 20s, and woke up one day with a kid and realized I didn't have 9 hours to waste on a day to go play baseball on these weekend leagues. So I started to pick up tennis, 2 hours in and out, and fell in love with the game. At deuce. Started playing tennis with a good friend of mine over at Manchester High School, Sweeney McKinnon. We got bit by the tennis bug, and good big point there. Advantage in.
And I feel like tennis could be one of those sports that you got to find people to play against that are similar to your skill level, because I feel like it could get boring quick.
It is mind-numbingly boring when you're playing someone that is not close to your skill level. Big return, but that's going to go, I saw that deep, right? Deep wide. And it looks like she's picking ball up. Yep, and that's game for Liberty. She's going to hang on there. Senefanti did a nice job of hanging on in that game. Goes up 4-2. Now, I know what she's thinking in her head. She's been pretty successful breaking Louise all day. So she's thinking to herself, if I break her here, then I'm going to serve at 5-2. That's a nice cushion for you as a server to handle kind of the pressures of serving out a match. So here we go. Louise serving at 2-4. Big game for her. Oh, that ball oh, good hustle.
And just hit it a little bit too much, and that's one of those times that you feel like the racket, and you just let the racket do the work. Try not to put too much power in it, but
Another good serve. A little too wide there, and it's 30-love, just like that. Yeah, you know, you find yourself running forward. Sometimes it's hard to control a contact point. But 30-love. Louise doing her job here in this game.
especially because tennis seems to be one of those sports that you can go too fast-paced, and all of a sudden you're outplaying yourself. And you know, that court, while it might look big, it's not as big as you'd think.
A little bit wide. Oh, a little bit deep. Take a look at our camera shot here. And that is game 3-4.
Wow. Number 2.
4-3. Yep. She did a nice job holding her serve there. Pressure really on Senefanti now. Some new camera operators out there as they're trying to figure out what the f-stops are all about. Coach takes a minute to talk to their player here on the Lakewood side. Again, coaching permitted on changeovers. Also good times for us on changeovers to fix problems with our own camera people. As the Lakewood player talking to her coach. Hydration important.
And especially on a day like today, it's been a little bit weird. I mean, even since this match started, it's been hot, then a little bit windy and cloud cover, and then
Yep.
the
Like,
sun's out again.
The wind just stopped
Yeah.
completely, and now the sun's back out. So a little tricky for new camera operators too, trying to navigate the f-stops to control the lighting. But here we are. Senefanti looking to serve here at 4-3. That serve is going to be a little bit wide. Good rotation on it. Again, the spin should go from low to high on the serve, or side spin if they're hitting a slice serve. Good flat serve. Nope, walking through the shot. Let's take a look at that replay very quickly, and I'll tell you what's going on here with this shot and what the problem is. When we look at the form on that return to serve, you can see here we're stepping as we're hitting. You need to set your feet, and then hit. Thanks to my camera crew there. Second serve. $15 all. Ooh, that serve just catches the tape. Wish somebody was out there to lean on that net. Good second serve. Oh, nice controlled deep return. That's going to cause trouble. Again, we have things called winners and unforced and forced errors. And that's a good example of a forced error because the ball is hit so deep and into the corner that it forces the error from your opponent. An unforced error is just when you make a mistake for no reason.
Silver Bay back to school night, baby. First one.
One of our fellow coaches here off to her first back-to-school night for her daughter. How exciting. Good luck, Mrs. Spicklow. Oh, good serve. Pretty solid return. And draws the unforced error.
Told y'all to shut up.
Both players have that tendency to walk through their shots. Get there, set up, pull a trigger. Or a deuce. Delivers a good serve on a big point, but hits off that back foot and pretty much takes out our camera operator, Paul, who's wearing what appears to be a KISS concert shirt today. Way to represent, Paul. Second serve coming up. This is a big one right here, and you know it, Sir Brian. In case you didn't know, Brian was knighted earlier today. Delivers the big second serve. Gets us to deuce here. We are... Oh, that must have been an advantage out. So it's a 5-3 here. And the wind all of a sudden out of nowhere just picked up and started swirling.
And I mean, this wind that we're feeling right now, it's enough to make a big difference on the game.
It sure is. I mean, I just saw a house with a witch's feet fly past us. Oh, discussion about points here. And here's the interesting thing. They need to settle when there's a point disagreement. It's up to them to settle. If there's a coach close by watching, they could ask the coach if they want to, but the coach doesn't have to tell them and correct them. And Gabriella Luis ready to serve. Oh, nice little graphic there, guys. Serving at 3-5, so she's serving for her life here. Needs a good service game here. And if I'm Senefanti, I definitely want to break her right here so I don't have to serve out this last second set for the W.
And that's another one of those ones
That's
that
frustrating.
it's half an inch. And that's
Catches
it.
the tape. That one went up, actually rolled on the side of the tape a little bit. Love 15. Yikes. It's going to go deep, and it's love 30. Pressure mounting here. Our principal, Mr. Brignola, stopping by to say hi. He's out here today on the fields catching some of the action. A little bit of soccer, a little bit of tennis, a little bit of field hockey. He gets around. Big supporter of all of our programs here at Liberty. And a great guy. Just wide. That ball gets shanked a little bit. I thought it was going to be a shank winner for a second. And it's love 40. This is match point right here. Match point. Love 40. Oh, delivers a second serve ace here. A second serve ace on match point. Yikes. 15-40. Still not out of trouble yet, though. Again, got to play this 1 point at a time, really. Almost as much pressure on the returner as there is on the server at this point.
And with how these games have been going so far, almost a little bit more pressure on the server. The amount of unforced errors coming out on serves, it's a decider.
It is. And 15-40, by the way. Just misses. Another good second serve, and that's going to end this one here as Louise just moves 2 steps in instead of 2 steps back. Can't get back to it. But a pretty well played match by both players here as Ella Senefanti is going to want to win this one 6-3, 6-3, and give her team their first point. Now remember, when tennis is played at the high school level, you have 3 singles players and 2 doubles teams. So that a team, in order to win the match, needs to win 3. Any combination of 3. 2 singles, 1 doubles, 2 doubles, 1 single, 3 singles, whatever floats your boat. And Senefanti's going to earn her team that first point today on a pretty well-played match.
Yeah.
What do you think when you take a look at this one? What do you think this one came down to, Brian?
I mean, I think it came a lot down to serves, but I mean, there was a good fight by both teams, or by both players. Came back in a couple of situations, and I mean, Lakewood had a few good starts that Liberty just came back from and definitely started to pull away at some points.
All right, yeah, for me, I think the difference in this one was definitely the serve here. I mean, I think this was definitely Senefanti's to lose here based on her serve. Kind of struggled a little bit with her serve today, but definitely handled herself much better on the ground strokes. That's pretty much all we have for today. We're going to move on a little later this evening, get set up over at Memorial for a school board meeting. We'll be back on Friday, though, for a little field hockey action here at Jackson Liberty High School. So for this afternoon's Game of the Week, I'm Harry Ferrone.
I'm Brian Martingano.
And we'll see you in a couple of hours. Have a great night.